Okay, so then we're going to the halacha of the one of the lamates malachas is the toichen, to grind. You're not allowed to. So there's a very practical halacha. Are you allowed to mash potato, banana, or anything like that for a child or for an adult that cannot eat a solid food? There's any shaila with the toichen of here and how to do it. Okay, so here's the lashon of the Gemara. It's Gemara Shabbos Ayin Dalet Amud Beis. V'atoichen. Omar Rav Papa. Hi man the porim silka chayav mishum toichen. So Rashi says if somebody take a beet and he cuts it very small pieces, very thin, mechatcha hodek meaning thin, that will be isur the raisa of toichen, of grinding, because beet, yeah.
Original beet, and not cooked.
Oh, very good. We'll talk about it now. Very good, very good. Now we're going to see. So the Tosfos says, the high man, the Pori silka, he says, Davka besilka shayach tchina. He says, Davka besilka and a beet shayach tchina. L'choira yurad when it's not cooked, yeah. Aval shar oichlin shara. So according to the Tosfos, the whole prohibition of toichen grinding, it's only by a selek. We'll see why selek, we'll see in a minute. But everything else, according to the Tosfos, if you want to mash a banana, want to mash a potato, it should not be a problem. Now, the Rambam writes a little bit. Will understand the meaning of silka. Why Dafka the Gemara, the Papa talk about silka. The Rambam says, "Amchatach esayerek." It's in Hilchas Shabbos. Amchatach esayerek dak, very thin. Kedel levashloi. In order to cook it, obviously it's not cooked. According to the Rambam, if you cut potatoes, tomatoes, anything that you're not going to cook, or it's cooked or doesn't need to be cooked, the whole toichen grinding, it's not shaykh of them. That is it. If you have pumpkins, you want to cut the front of the animals, or you have a dead animal, you want to give it to your dog. By Peiris is not shayach tchina. So again, the definition of tchina, according to the Rambam, and the combination of the Tosfos, where the Tosfos is only by silka, by beets, it's only if you're cutting it for cooking. If you're not cutting it for cooking, it's not shayach. So according to this, if you would cut potatoes, besides would be also bishul on Shabbat, but if somebody cooked for a tin, yeah, would be lechoira also. If according to the Rambam, for sure, if you're doing it for cooking, then it's also mitzat toichen. If it's not cooking, again, if you wanna mash potato, eggs, banana, lechoira, it's not shaykh of all of this techina, and you're allowed to do it. Now, the Beis Yosef brings many opinions. With all of them together, the poskim derive a halacha of what you should do, what you should not do. Beis Yosef says, he brings in the Yereim, the osur lefarer peiros lepirurim dakim. According to the Yereim, he disagrees with the Tosfos. It's not only silka beets, or according to the Rambam, it's not only something you're about to cook. No, nothing to do with that. Any fruits, according to this, will be any vegetables, fruits. If you're going to do very thin, you're going to slice them very, very thin, that will be isur toichen. According to the Yereim, would be isur deraisa. Mashma the Sfira of the Beis Yosef says the silka lav davke. The chen koza beor zerua. Okay. Then he brings another opinion of Trumas Adeshin. The bosor mevushal or tzoli, if you want to cut of small pieces, cooked or roast meat, yeah, that was already cooked or roasted, yeah. Moide kula alma de shora lechatcha dak besakin. That you could do a small pieces. He says, "V'ladomi le'etzim u'lepeiros v'lechem deinu kula gedula karka." According to Trumas Hadeshen, anything gedula karka grows on the earth, that shaykh over there tchina, and anything is not coming from the earth, like eggs, fish, meat over there. If you want to cut it thin, slice it thin, it's not shaykh over there tchina because it's not gedula karka. So that's, again, we will see, like I said, from all of them together, we're going to see the poskim put what you should do, what's also with the rights, with Rabbanon. Okay. Now, the Rashba writes, the Rashba has a different definition. He says like this, the Isur of cutting he says, the silka, what the Gemara mentioned, the Papa mentioned, the beets, tin. It's also only, he says, davke b'mechadach k'dei le'echol lemocher. Only if you're cutting it in order to eat it the next day. It says, aval labo bayoim ul'achar shom lefisha derech stilke l'chadach dagdag b'shas b'shuloi. Anyway, he compares it to a boiler, something boiler. You're doing it for right now, to eat it right now. You take oichel, soil, you're allowed to. If you do it for later on, it's also something he says by mechatech. If you're doing it for right now, to eat for right now, you're allowed. If you do it for later, it's also. Okay. Then the post can bring that if you do it with a special tool that made for that. People today could do salad. They have a special that could cut a lot of vegetables in one. With one push, and it's a special professional tool for that looks michzek uvden the chol. It might be toichen. So here la halacha lemaitze, that's how we should do it. So the Shulchan Aruch brings like this. Amechatech hayerek dag chayav mishum toichen. So according to the Shulchan Aruch, he says according to him, he took the shita, that doesn't feel like the Tosfos only beets, any yerokas. If you do it very thin slices, it would be osur mishum toichen. Then the Ramos says, vuadin the osur lachlich groigros v'charuvim v'nei zekenim. Yeah, but then he said like this. But this whole thing that Ramo brings to the shita of the Rashba, he says, and it says, if you're cutting it small pieces, according to the, like I said, they don't take the sheet of the sheet of the yereim, even any fruits and vegetables. You do small pieces, very thin pieces for eating later. It's awesome. Aval, he says, im l'ochla miyad, if you're doing it in order to eat immediately, hakol shore. Yeah. Like I said, they bring that they rely on this rashba. So now, according to this, like this: if you want a mashed potato, do mashed potato for a child, for a baby, or mashed banana or eggs. If you're doing it for later on, you're not allowed to do it. The rice says rabbanon. It doesn't make it l'maisa lahalocha. We don't do it. Whatever it is, according depends who. Now, if you're doing it to give it immediately for him to eat, now it's allowed. Now it's called immediately. So the Taz says immediately means lo'isa su'uda. If you do it for this, with Oysa Su'uda, that you're allowed to do, and that's how a lot of poskim bring the same thing. If you do it for the sake of the Oysa Su'uda, you're allowed to do. Now, the Mogen Avraham brings another thing to be careful with. He says, Oysa Su'uda, he says, meaning, let's say the Balabosta wants to do the salad, to cut a small, thin pieces of vegetables, for when people leave, before people left the shul. From the morning, she's getting up, she's doing the salad. Mogen says, no, it's not right. You should wait after they go out of shul. So if you want to cut it small pieces. If you do bigger pieces, it's not toichen anymore. Oh, so according to things like this, if you want to do for a child, for an adult, somebody that they need something, mashed potato or mashed banana, mashed eggs, if you do it to eat immediately and you don't do it with a special tool that's special for that, then you have no problem whatsoever. You could do that. If you do with a special tool that's made to grind, that's uvdin dechol, or it might be even more than that. And if you do it to eat immediately for that suda, before the suda, you do things for everybody. You could even do the Beis Yosef recommends if you do salad, he says you should try to do bigger pieces, not small. Let's see what's small, what's big, but l'kulam l'tzorich oysa suda. There's arba yeshem atirim. That's what the Mishnah Berurah brings. The Mogen Avraham brings that if you do it for the sake of oysa suda, even you do small piece of salad for the oysa suda, yeshlam alma.
With that tool also?
No, again, not with a special tool that made for grinding, yeah, and not for the